I think tonight it'll just be me in the stream. I think it's a bit too late for the two last night to come on. My tab go. Wait, why are you still awake? Change my title. What's my title? Wait. Oh, I changed my title though. Oh, I updated with the other one. Shit, I got a typo. It's not like counted. Very good. Very good. My WhatsApp is there's a notification. I don't know how to silence it. Like how am I supposed to focus? Huh? What is it? Oh. Ah. It's a very scuffed stream. Let it pop up, just go settings. I mean, it's fine. I don't think there's any important stuff. It's okay. But the more okay, wait, hang on. Yeah, why are you awake? Isn't it like 5? Is it 6? No, it's gonna be 6. What the hell? Are you awake? Even Ninja isn't here. Yeah, he's not here. I don't think he's here. Why? I had your stream open and then I went to like eat and everything, and then when I came back, yeah, it was like you were live 3 hours ago. I thought you went to sleep already. Why are you awake? Like 3 hours after streaming, and what are you doing? Like, you like playing more games? Are you going to sleep now? Or have you went to sleep already? I'm back. Yeah, I was saying like, why are you not sleeping? It's like 6. I left your stream on all the way when I went to do my other stuff, and then when I came back, it says you're offline. It says that you were live 3 hours ago, so I thought you went to sleep already. But like, what were you doing in the 3 hours? Oh, that is crazy. Stalker, no. I mean, I opened your stream, so when I went back, you were offline. Then it says like they were live 3 hours ago. I ate, watch TikTok. 5. You eat so late? No, is it supper? It's not dinner, right? It should be supper. Watch TikTok. God damn. The doom scroll. I will watch TikTok in a bit. I've got so much things to do. I got so little time. So, second meal of the day. Stop. Wait, second meal? You woke up. I don't know what time you woke up, but you slept. Then after a while, I slept. And then when I came back from school, you were awake. Do you not eat? Then just go back sleep. What mean stalker? I didn't even stalk. You're here. I got so much things to do, but I got not enough time. Like I went to school today just for this coding module. I didn't want to go, but the lecturer said yesterday that he'll go through some new program. And it was new. And he went through so fast, I didn't understand anything. I went to school for 2 hours and I learned nothing. And it's 2 hours I can't take back. Wasted 2 hours. And then he said there's an assignment on the new program in 2 weeks. I have to submit in 2 weeks. And then on the same week, I have an essay of another mod that I have to submit. This is honestly crazy. I'm gonna come back to Singapore. Wait, me, I need to get my degree. But this is crazy. And then tomorrow I got potluck with people from my lab. I have to bake muffins tomorrow. And tomorrow I need to run an errand also to collect something. Oh, but my chicken just now was good. It was my first time making it, but it was so good. Thinking of online shopping here. It's so expensive. But I want to bake more. I feel like baking is quite fun. Just that the washing is not fun. I want to bake cake because I like cake, but I don't have all the stuff. So hard to tune in your stream since time zone. So just come back. If I come back, there'll be another issue because I might not stream the whole day. Like I'm only able to stream the whole day now because I got the freedom to do so. If I go back, then I need to spend time with family. I mean, not in the sense that I don't want, but I got lesser freedom, and then I got more commitment. Over here is like, if I want to stream, I can just stream because I'm in charge of my well-being, you know? When I go back, I have to think about everyone. Like if I stream for too long, then I'll spend lesser time with them. keep creating issues for himself. Yeah, that's true. If I create issues for myself, not at the expense of others. Yeah. So I suffer so that people suffer lesser. Or at least that's what I hope it will be. But yeah, I honestly don't feel like doing work, but I have to do work, and I want to play games, but I have to do work. Bedtime and go sleep. Go sleep. Now it's what? Yeah, now it's 6. It's time to sleep. Oh, it's time to wake up. Go and sleep. Alright, if you listen to me speak a bit more, you just go to sleep because I'm very monotonous. Plus this music. Oh my god, that would be like amazing. Amazing sleep white noise. But yeah, I think back in Singapore when I was streaming, which was like so many years ago, I used to start 8, 9 p.m. and then I'll just push all the way. I think latest would be 4 a.m. So I would stream about 8 hours. Come to think of it, it's not that long. Okay, bye bye. Good night, good night. Go sleep, sleep, sleep. You can come back when you cannot sleep. If not, go and sleep. Don't come back when you can sleep. Bye. Good night, good night. Good night. Huh? 2 hours? Oh, 拜年. Okay, okay, good night, good night. Bye bye. That's true. Bang, which one? No? Which one? What's that? Habibi, like, what are you doing like at this time of the hour? It's like 6. Right, it's like 6 a.m. What the hell? What are you doing here? Are you going to sleep? Or have you not sleep? Cannot sleep? No, recently so many people in Singapore have been like up at the weird hours, like up at wee hours. I've got, I'm not sure if you can see the message from, no, you probably cannot see the message from just now, right? I got this person that came on my stream last night. 2 of them yesterday, and they stayed until like 8 a.m. And then just now one of them came back, but then she had to go and sleep like just a few minutes ago because she had to 拜年. And then you're here. What the hell? Is there like some... It's like some weird ass phase in Singapore where like people cannot sleep at this time of the day. Like 6 eh. It's like time to wake up. Okay, not really lah, but cannot sleep. Have you been sleeping like properly, or is it like messed up sleep schedule? I mean, for me, Chinese New Year don't need sleep. I mean, don't need sleep. You don't have school, man. I mean, yeah lah, tomorrow is Saturday lah, but won't it mess up like your sleep schedule for like Monday? Your body clock fucked up. I mean, waiting. Oh, now you're waiting for uni, is it? Man, I'm like lost in the sauce. I can't remember what everyone's doing. Right, and my streaming hours are like definitely not for Singapore people also, unless like sleep hours messed up, something like that. I only can stream at a proper timing for Singapore viewers to watch on weekends, but that's not even like confirmed because I might have stuff to do on the weekends. Tomorrow I got stuff to do. Right, 8-hour difference. I'm like 8 hours behind. I'm 8 hours in the past. It's so hard to like, you know. But yeah, Chinese New Year, I'll do more visiting, eat more snacks, get more bao. Sounds not bad. I'm not getting bao here. I don't have any snacks here. Can hop on and watch. Oh, you're only here because you cannot sleep. If you could sleep, you'll be sleeping already. But I appreciate some company. But I mean, if you want to sleep, you can just go anytime. That's true. Yeah, that's true. I wish I could be playing games, but this is not allowing me to play games. It's playing me too hard already. I don't want to study. I feel like I've been barely playing games. I'm not even like catching up in school. And that is crazy. Yeah, I got potluck tomorrow. I need to prepare food. I need to collect stuff. Oh my god, my Saturday is gone just like that. Means I only got Sunday. Am I gonna waste my Sunday doing school stuff? Only to go back to school for the whole week next week. Next week my schedule is shit also. So bad. Tuesday is okay. Wednesday is okay. The rest is so fucked. So bad. What kind of shit ass schedule is this? We all struggling out here. That's so true. Everyone's struggling. Pizza. Must pizza. Yeah, I feel like I wouldn't. Sorry. I feel like I wouldn't struggle as much if I had practice and if my lecturer actually taught. I can't remember how many times I say this and I can't remember if I said it to you. But this lecturer, he doesn't teach. He just uploads videos. The videos are not even recent. It's a few years ago. And then we are supposed to watch in our own free time. And then when we turn up for his class, we're supposed to just do practice questions and then call him if we need help. And that is it. Right, in this 4 weeks, he's only taught us for a total of probably 2 hours. The rest is just everyone doing their own practice, just sitting there trying to solve. I'm so lost. I don't even know what's happening. Everything, I'm just paying him to self-study at home in my own time. It's taking a toll. Case. Vice versa. That lecturer. No, he's a very nice man. Like, he's a very nice person. Like, his person is nice. But as a lecturer, he sucks ass. It's so bad. Maybe it's only for my course. I don't know. Because I got friends who said that he was good. I don't know, but today's class was 2 hours. 3 minutes in, I was lost already. Terrible. It's just 1 out of 2 mods for half this semester. I can't even catch up both of them because none of it is helping. Damn. I don't know. Growing up is tough lah. Last time want to grow up. Wow, what have you been doing since you got no school, waiting for uni? I've been doing every day. Rotting at home. Like what? Are you like learning any like new skills like this shit, Python? Or like, I don't know, revising for your uni course module? Or like playing new games? I wanted to find job but Chinese New Year early this year. Now I laze. Chinese New Year got quite some job opportunities like I'm still in those like part-time job WhatsApp group. I saw like some not bad ones. 13 to $15 per hour. Which is okay. I think I went back. I think during summer last year I went back 3 months, was it? 3-4 months, and then I worked for a bit. But it was those warehouse, so it was quite ass. But money is money. Let's get CNY money now, days to go out. The CNY money you're supposed to save. Then you gotta earn money, those money you spend. Well, it makes more sense, right? The Chinese New Year you get money, you don't go out, then you spend everything. Then you don't have profit. Life is life. Live how you wanna live it. Yeah, sure, okay. You do you. I support. No, I'm trying to very low key start a small baking business. No, actually not even business. I just want to bake and sell stuff so I can earn a bit of pocket money. I've got one or two friends that indicate interest that they want to buy it, but fuck this like what the hell? I don't even have time to catch up. How to bake and earn money? If I could catch up, I would have found time to bake, and maybe I can earn like a bit of money. Hustling, yeah, but this is too hard to hustle already. Like, like already hustling, but I'm not even like staying afloat. Actually crazy. This is terrible. Okay, so later, right? I'm saying later because it's already morning, right? Later you still gonna go 拜年 and if you have to, then you're like running on like zero sleep, right? Oh, you finish already. Okay lah, then it's okay lah. Just stay up lah, stay up. Sleep when you wanna sleep. Day 4 done. So you speed ran the whole thing. Very tired already. This is taking a toll. Your name. The name has number characters. Okay. Yeah. I really wish I could be playing games now instead of this. This is torture. Nobody should live like this. And then for some reason, right, my Twitch chat, I cannot get rid of the stream elements bot. Like you see. You see? Nightbot is the correct one. But stream elements keeps giving me the Singapore time. The thing is that I've already kicked stream elements out of my chat to the stream elements website. Like it says that the bot is not my chat, but the bot is still in my chat and it's like messing up. That's why I haven't set any like bot commands. Because it's interfering with everything. And I don't know how to get rid of it. Really white spaces. Oh. End of the street. No world. Yeah, okay, you need to sleep. God damn. Yeah, go and sleep. Get some sleep. Good night, good night. Bye bye. Bye. Good sleep. Good night. Bye. Bye bye. Bye.
Hard part is when we.
What the fuck?
This video is sponsored by Squarespace, the most convenient website builder and hosting platform. So what does deep frying qualify as? Apparently it's a form of wet cooking, because when the chicken is enclosed by oil, the moisture inside steams itself, so essentially it's a form of steaming. Hence the crispy exterior and the tender center. I never knew that before. I thought deep frying is popular because Americans have the innate love for oil, but it's actually a great cooking technique if you can look past the whole health life thing. Today we're not just being weird, these are actually famous deep fried food that's a little unconventional. Among the 3 famous batters, we'll start with the standard breading procedure of flour, egg, and panko. For the egg, I don't know if you guys seen one of those TikTok videos where people drop an egg into a pan and it cracks perfectly.
Apparently, if you drop an egg into a pan, it will crack perfectly.
So I'm gonna try it here. Perfectly my ass. After having these 3 components ready, we'll get to the first recipe of the day, avocado fries. Why does this avocado look green and hard like Piccolo's head, you ask? Well, I went to the grocery store and this is what I saw. I picked the best looking one. I must say though, I never had an avocado with green juice coming out of it. This is literally harder than peeling garlics. So after they're in pieces, we'll coat it in flour, dip it in eggs, and cover it with panko. Spoiler alert, this step is not getting old anytime soon. While we're doing that, we're gonna pour in and heat up our oil. We're using a lot of oil today. To avoid waste, I'm gonna teach you later how to reuse oil by filtering it. When it hits 350, we can drop in our fries. At first it'll sink to the bottom and it'll float up. We'll take it out of the oil when it's nice and golden. You're gonna hear this phrase a lot in this episode, but I'll try my best to make it more interesting. The benefit of having an unripe avocado is that it held its shape really well throughout the cooking process. I thought it was going to be a flavorless piece of goo enclosed by a crispy shell, but it's actually a flavorful piece of goo enclosed by a crispy shell. Avocado has been repeatedly impressing me lately. 8 out of 10. So when I say fried garlic, you must be thinking one of those crispy, thinly sliced ones on top of a salad or a noodle. But this recipe today is going to be fried whole garlic. We're going to start by blanching it in boiling salted water to soften the flavor and the texture. Then we'll coat them in flour, dip it in egg, and cover with panko. They kind of look like little chicken nuggets. It's already blanched, so we're just trying to cook the exterior. Looking pretty golden brown, let's give it a taste and rate it 1 through 10. This is impressive. I thought the garlic flavor was gonna be too strong, but it's actually mild. When you bite into it, the texture of the center kind of tastes like chicken. I'll show you the cross section real quick. It tastes so good that it almost tastes like somebody swapped them out for Chick-fil-A nuggets. So I'll give these fried garlic a 9 out of 10. As many of you may remember, we've done this before.
Too much leftover milk? Deep fry your milk.
Too much leftover milk? Maybe my dad's back. The last time we overcooked it a little bit, and apparently you're not supposed to dip it in maple syrup, which is my answer to everything. I'm not Canadian, by the way. I love maple syrup because America makes the best ones. My dad's still not back, so I added 2 cups of my roommate's milk, as much sugar as you want, and then 60 grams of cornstarch. I think it's half a cup or so. We'll put it on medium-low, as much sugar as you want, and then 60 grams of cornstarch. I think it's half a cup or so. We'll put it on medium-low heat and keep stirring it until it gets nice and thick. After that, we'll transfer it to a greased Tupperware, smooth it out a little bit, into the freezer till it sets. It should be pretty quick, an hour and a half or so. My freezer is currently at its full power, so it's set in 45 minutes. Cutting them into long, thick strips to resemble mozzarella sticks, and just follow up with the standard breading procedure of
flour, egg, and panko.
I don't know why, but this looks kind of funny for some reason. Don't touch them at first, we'll just let it fry on 350 for 2 to 3 minutes. What we're doing here is just cooking the outside to give it a nice color. Last time we overcooked it a little bit, so it became a little rubbery. This is looking pretty good, so a total of 3 minutes. After frying the cornstarch mixture, the inside should be very nice and creamy. Sort of like gelatin, but it doesn't bounce, it kind of just melts in your mouth. Is that a hair I didn't notice? Definitely executed pretty well today, but to improve from the maple syrup dip, today I made a caramel sauce to go with it. Deep fried milk covered in warm buttered caramel. Do you guys have funding for a food truck? Cause we're about to be rich with this one. Let's give it a taste and rate it 1 through 10. Oh. I apologize for that display of emotion. It's just the crispy on the outside, creamy on the inside fried milk, dipping in sweet and salty caramel sauce. The overall shock in my mouth kind of takes me back to my childhood. When I was little, my uncle, he ordered me my first chocolate lava cake of my life. I feel like we only get a few of those moments with food, so to savor this, I'm gonna sing a song. Picture perfect, you don't need no filter. Picture perfect, you don't need no filter. Not leaving the theme of state fair and holiday market, we're doing a corn on the cob. This recipe is the easiest to get in concept and execution, so I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. After removing the husks, we'll do the thing. And get something like that, we'll start frying it. I fried for about 5 minutes. I'm starting to get concerned whether it's cooked or not. is totally cooked. I guess butter isn't always the best companion for corn. Sometimes it's the standard breading procedure. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. But you know what's the best companion for chasing your dream? A tool to help you build website with no experience. Let me introduce you to Squarespace. It's seamless process to web building. You can so we're gonna use one from the grocery store because it's already cool. You've checked about it. Seamless, a standard tool to help you build website. Give it an 8 out of 10. But you know what's the best companion? And don't want to separate. It's pretty frozen for days, and everything should stick together. So when I first drop it in, it floats. I guess there's a lot of air in the dough. I'm afraid that the top part isn't gonna get fried, so I push it down a little. What happens here is that I guess the ice melts from the cheese and it starts like overflowing the pot. Like the occasional bubbles over here gets out and sometimes on my hand. The only answer to this is turning up the heat and commit to the pain. Here we have our Friday special, the Heartbreaker. The police of the cardiac arrest, tackling the ticker, artery cloggeddy, the batter late than healthy, fried and prejudice, the dominator, destructo disc of heart disease list, the batter of no tomorrow, fry heart 2, harder day, the vein drain delight, the mutts are rejecting my salad, Batman, the artery tightening returns. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Moving on to our next category of frying, the batter of tempura. People do say that is the healthiest form of frying because it soaks up very little oil, so if you use a good quality, it doesn't even feel greasy afterwards. And to make the simplest tempura batter, we'll start with 1 egg, 3/4 cup sparkling water, and 1/4 cup vodka. I told you before my dad's not back yet, so I don't have vodka, so I just did a whole cup of sparkling water. To that we'll add 3/4 cup of flour and 1/2 cup of potato starch. This is what's gonna make it very flaky. I wouldn't recommend replacing it with cornstarch because it's just not the same. Cornstarch is more of a thickening agent, potato starch is where the frying comes in. Hence you fry potatoes and make creamed corn. Again, this next recipe, you see the name, you're like, oh, a fried egg. I have it every morning with my bacon. It's a deep fried raw egg that we've done before.
Step 1, freeze your eggs until rock solid like this.
And because my freezer was broken at the time, I couldn't freeze the egg completely. Peel.
You fucked up.
Fry at 320 degrees Fahrenheit for 7 minutes. They're gonna look just like this. Nice, jammy, interior jammy egg. Now that the freezer is fixed, we're gonna reattempt it by freezing raw egg overnight. This time the egg is definitely rock solid. I soaked in some water and peeled it. It took me so long. It kind of looks like a hard boiled egg. We'll coat some flour into the batter and fry at 350 for 7 minutes. Inside liquid cold egg, outside flaming hot oil. So it's a recipe for explosions, but I learned from my childhood favorite YouTuber Crazy Russian Hacker, safety is #1 priority. I'm gonna take it out now because the inside is running out and I'm starting to hear exploding sounds. It looks pretty close to the original. Let's cut it open to see if the inside is actually jammy. I'm not sure it's undercooked or the egg is low quality. It seems like the egg yolk is completely heated up, but there's like a ball of water coming out of the egg white. But there are also coagulated egg white around the surface. So let's give it a taste real quick. I didn't spit it out, by the way. This is just what's dripping from the inside. I guess the moisture from the egg white just got trapped inside. So glad I took it out when I did, otherwise an explosion is definitely coming. Another failure. It's okay, we'll attempt it again. The oil is getting a little dirty, so after these next 2 dishes, we're gonna switch it out. Over here we have a box of grocery store sushi. The only other thing that's comparable in sketchiness is a line at the bathroom of the club from strangers, which is perfect for deep frying because we don't feel bad about wasting sushi and it sanitizes it. We'll take it out once it takes shape. This looks like fried Oreos, which we'll do later. It's a tuna avocado roll. Let's give it a taste and I really want to taint. It doesn't really taste like sushi anymore. Probably originally it didn't taste like sushi either. Since the tuna is cooked, it kind of tastes like a sandwich, like a tuna salad sandwich. This is the first recipe today that wasn't improved by deep frying, so I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10.
I don't speak
I saw this
Spanish.
video on YouTube of a vegan pork cutlet that's supposed to taste just like meat. It's by Table Diary over here.
Spanish?
So basically they cut enoki mushroom into these patties, fry them, and eat it like that. It does kind of look like meat. More like scallop though. In case you guys can't tell, I'm not a 9-year-old girl, so I don't have a rubber band. I'm gonna use foil to wrap it up, drip some water on it, and freeze it for at least an hour. The mushroom definitely froze and took shape, but I'm afraid that it's gonna fall apart if I cut it. I'm just drop it in whole and then maybe cut it later. We'll fry it 6 minutes total, 3 minutes on each side. We're just warming it up. Enoki mushroom doesn't take that long to cook, I feel like. The cross section doesn't really look like meat. and the taste is even further. The worst part is I think I left a spot of dirt in it. I'm a little biased because I like any type of fried mushroom, so I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. I wouldn't recommend it though, it doesn't taste that good. My favorite Thai restaurant in the city is in Nolita called Fish Cheeks. I like to clap for how good their chicken wings are. They call this the Zab wings, which is so accurate because when you bite into it, your mouth goes zap. What I'm trying to say is it's crispy, acidic, and very flavorful. Today I got some chicken wings over here. We're gonna try to recreate this at home. I don't have a recipe or anything, so I'm gonna do what I usually do best, pulling things out of my, activate logic canoe. Marinade should be pretty simple, just salt and acid. Ran out of rice wine vinegar, so I'm gonna do this Greek white wine vinegar. The design of the packaging is so weird. There's like a little tip over here. It won't let me squeeze out and I can't even open the cap. Whatever, I'm just gonna cut the tip. Why would you make something this hard to open? We'll also do a little bit of sake. There's definitely fish sauce in the recipe, I feel like, but it's too early in the morning right now. I don't want to get a sniff of that. We'll just coat it with a tiny bit of cornstarch and let it marinate for a few hours to overnight. In the picture, it looks like it just raw dogged the oil, but the surface is so crispy, I suspect there's a little bit of starch on top. The oil is looking dirtier than ever. Let's just fry these up and we'll change it. These should cook pretty quickly, like under 10 minutes. Once in a while, just check on its internal temperature.
What's poppin'? Brand new whip, just hopped in. I got options. I can pass it like Stockton.
I think in the restaurant they use ascorbic acid to season at the end so it keeps the crispiness, but we're just gonna have to make do with lime and salt. Looking pretty close to the real thing. Let's see how it tastes.
Ooh, the crunch.
It's actually good. It got that zab thing going on. The amount of acidity is reminding me of a chicken adobo but fried. Plus also look how juicy it is. I'll give this a 9 out of 10. To cover desserts, we're gonna make sort of like a funnel cake or apple fritter. Should be versatile enough. A cup and a half of flour, quarter cup of sugar, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, a teaspoon of salt, 3 tablespoons of applesauce I'm gonna replace with yogurt, half a cup of milk, and 2 eggs. Let's actually add a little bit of vanilla too. We don't have to whisk it too hard because the baking powder, once it encounters heat, is gonna help other ingredients bind. First one on the list, of course, gotta be a fried Oreo, just like those from Ray's candy store. But to go above and beyond, we're gonna cover it with these thick boys, and we're gonna double stuff it with double stuffed Oreo. It's a little hard to take shape because the bacon is really thick, so we're just gonna freeze it a little bit. Clean oil, frozen Oreo bacon. Let's cover it up and fry it. While these two are going, I also did just like a single Oreo just to see what the original tastes like. Look at the massive size on the bacon one, almost as big as a burger. Like anything that's about to get fun, we gotta powder it up. Let's cut it and give it a cross-section inspection. Look how crazy that looks. My heart is already beating very fast, so let's dip it in some more powdered sugar and give it a taste, rate 1 through 10. My life is flashing before my eyes, not only because it's incredibly satisfying, I think my body is also telling me to take it easy on this stuff. It's stuff like this that reminds me that dopamine hits are better than longevity. I'll give it a 9.5 out of 10. The normal Oreo is also pretty fire. I think I made it better than Ray's. So is deep fried bacon and Oreo healthy, you ask? Everything's relative, and the answer will be yes compared to this next item. Deep fried monkey fighting butter. It's a famous southern dish that I've heard a lot about. We'll cut the butter into pieces, freeze it, and then just carry out the same procedure as before. The thing I'm concerned about is that butter composed of a lot of water. When it starts releasing into the hot oil, my face might be in danger. Once it starts sounding scary, we should probably take it out. And I'm also afraid that the residual heat is gonna melt the butter completely, so I'm gonna stick it back into the freezer for a little bit. And when it freezes again, we'll double batter it and fry it one more time. It kinda looks like a potato now. This one only battered once and is frozen. My first stick of fried butter, very satisfying. Eating butter seems gross on paper, but it's so nice. This is the double fried one. It's dripping a lot, should have frozen longer. The inside, guys, just melts in your mouth like butter, and the flavors of the whey really comes through. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Deep frying is the answer to everything, even jelly beans. The last time I had jelly beans was back in high school biology when we did that experiment of how you can't tell the flavor by holding your breath. I honestly can't remember what they taste like. We'll just mix that into the batter like an apple fritter and drop it into the fryer. It's puffing up immediately. We probably don't want to cook this one for too long. Sorta looks like one of those 7-Eleven apple fritters, and it actually looks kinda good. I was fully expecting to spit it out. The flavors of the jelly bean is so refreshing and has a nice sticky contrast in texture to the crispy and soft dough. It's like a jelly bean toast, well incorporated. Not that I had a jelly bean toast or anything. The concept does seem more appealing to me now. I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10. Here's the very creepy Pillsbury Doughboy offering us his generous white ass raw. These pieces are too small. We're gonna make a real piece by combining 2 of them and freeze them overnight. With the same batter as before, we'll drop it in. This time I'm gonna fry it very quickly because I like the inside of the dough very runny. Look at that, medium rare cookie dough. What can be better than this? Maybe dip it in some more powdered sugar. No need to explain anything here. Best dessert so far, 9.5 out of 10. We're done with the dessert batter. Let's use it up by reducing Coca-Cola. The original taste, of course.
Original taste. The sugar 1.5. See ingredients. Carbonated may color. Caramel color. Acidity color. Original taste. The sugar 1.5. See ingredients. Carbonated may color. Caramel color. Acidity regulator. Natural flavor. May cola. Original taste. The
This is like a really popular street food in Massachusetts, I think. A lot of people put whipped cream on top, but let's just taste it with powdered sugar. It doesn't really taste like Coke anymore, it just tastes like a donut. But the Coca-Cola syrup though, drizzled on top, really takes it to another level. The original taste is unbeatable. I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. The last recipe is from the king of deep frying, Bayashi. It's basically like a low effort, low budget cannoli made from rigatoni. It looks very legit, so let's give it a try. First we'll drop in the biggest rigatoni I can find. In terms of how long to fry them, I don't know, it's raw pasta, so I guess once they turn dark it's edible. And for the filling, Bayashi did a whipped cream and mascarpone, and to replace that we're gonna use whipped cream cheese. Put it in a Ziploc bag and pipe cream into tubes. Dust some powdered sugar on top. Let's give it a taste and read 1 through 10, the last recipe of the day. It's definitely not bad, but immediately it took on some iron taste because the roof of my mouth is bleeding. The pasta got so hard, which reminds me I need to make an appointment with my dentist. My execution is a little questionable, but Bayashi's recipe looks perfect. Anyways, my house smelled like McDonald's for the past 3 days, so that was pretty fun. But I'm glad we learned that everything can be improved by deep frying. It's okay to indulge once in a while, and I hope we can all find balance in life. Alright, thank you. No need for further explanation, let's get straight into it. Our first recipe is from Chocolate Cacao with almost 100 million views. He calls it the ultimate chocolate moist cake # Schwartz cooking recipe, so let's take a look. Did he just show us how to open chocolate packages? 50 grams of chocolate in the chip form. Then 6 20 milliliters of milk that I got for myself. My dad's still not back. 130 grams of sugar. 30 grams of cocoa powder. He also added agar-agar, but I feel like we should add it later. Before we move on to the stove, we'll measure out 7 grams of it. On medium-low heat, we'll start whisking everything together. Once it comes to a simmer, we'll add in the agar-agar. By the time I post this video, it's definitely going to be past December 11th. Just so you guys don't accuse me of using expired products, I'll show you today's date. Anyways, we'll put this in the fridge and rest overnight. The cocoa powder sprinkle is kind of aggressive. I liked it though. It's been about 12 hours. It looks really jiggly. It doesn't look as smooth as his. Maybe it's the container's fault. Also, the structural integrity doesn't feel as sturdy either. So let's top it off with cocoa powder, give it a taste, and rate 1 through 10. I mean, it's chocolate and sugar, so it doesn't taste bad, but the granular texture confuses me a lot. Do you see all these little spots? Maybe I didn't mix it thoroughly enough, or maybe I added the agar-agar too late. This recipe is super simple, and I see a lot of potential, so we'll be trying it again. But my execution today will be a 6 out of 10. I saw this recipe on Patrick's account. He calls it the eclair cake.
So easy to make and it only takes 5 ingredients. Oh my, can't get enough of that cream.
It's basically a custard filling with a chocolate covered top. Eclairs are pretty difficult to make. I guess this is like an easier way to get around it. And check out this transition. Do you think it was smooth? So to 6 eggs, we'll add a cup of sugar. And then 4 cups of milk, which I don't have, so 2 cups of heavy cream and 2 cups of water. Give it a quick whisk, pour into a pot, put it on medium-low heat, and continuously stir it. According to his instructions, it should thicken up in about 5 minutes or so. Alright, it's been about 10 minutes. I feel like scrambled eggs is gonna come out before it turns into a custard. So we're gonna use a little cheat by adding in some milk. Just kidding, it's cornstarch slurry. It should thicken up the sauce instantly. Gonna run it through a sieve real quick in case we created any egg lumps. Then we'll cover the top with plastic wrap and let it completely cool. In case you forgot, this is the vegan, gluten-free, pre-made pie crust we got from Trader Joe's last time. Now all we have to do is just to finish a finish the eclair cake. You can just use melted chocolate on top, but I'm using the leftover truffle mixture from earlier, cause you know I don't waste food. I'm gonna spread it out evenly and stab the spatula into your heart and let it cool overnight. It's the next day now. As you can see, the pie is fully set. Somebody took a piece from me late night last night when he was hungry, but don't ask me who it is. Looking at this, I'm slowly realizing that maybe the Boston cream pie and the Boston cream donut is just failed attempts at eclairs. Further affirming my belief that people don't want to eat new food, they just want to eat the same old food in different formats. Let's give it a taste and rate it 1 through 10. As you can probably assume, after taking that bite, the bottom half of my face is covered with... I would show you the money shot, but I feel like we've already done a semi-face reveal a couple months ago, so I'll save it for now. Overall, it has very good and balanced flavors. I didn't spit that thing out. My face was covered with custard and a piece of it fell. All you have to do to make this cake is to make the custard, and it's pretty simple, so I'll give it an 8.7 out of 10. Last recipe identifies as a cake, but this one is an actual cake. It claims to be the moistest chocolate cake of all time, and it's super easy to make. I'll be reading through the ingredients pretty fast, so pay attention. 130 grams of flour, 200 grams of sugar, 65 grams of cocoa powder, 3/4 teaspoons of baking powder, a key bump of baking soda, an egg, 60 milliliters of oil, 130 milliliters of milk. I don't have milk, so I'm doing half heavy cream, half water. Finally, some warm water. I'm afraid that's gonna cook the egg, so I'll whisk it a little bit. a teaspoon of instant coffee, and a teaspoon of dessert MSG. Pour into a baking dish and into the oven at 300 for 25 minutes. While we're waiting, we'll make the topping, which is 450 grams of chocolate and 280 milliliters of hot heavy cream. You don't have to mix it immediately. If you let it sit there, it will melt the chocolate completely. While waiting for both items to cool, you can sing a song or do a little dance or something. Now once the cake is cooled down, we'll mix together the ganache and pour it directly on top. It's super satisfying. If you hear that, that's the police coming to arrest me for how I cut it. It's kind of falling apart, but it looks really good though. Now let's give it a taste and rate it 1 through 10. The flavors and the moistness are all on point, but for some reason I feel like it's way more crumbly than I expected. Maybe because the heavy cream and water situation. Again, doesn't have any structural integrity, but it definitely tastes amazing with a ganache on top, so I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10. It's December, hot chocolate season, but not just any hot chocolate, Mexican hot chocolate. Starting with this Cortez spiced chocolate with cinnamon in it. A lot of you in the comments told me the hack that if you cut chocolate with a serrated knife, it doesn't fly everywhere. And it seems like it's true. I guess the comment section can do much more than just roasting me till I cry. So this is 5 ounces of chocolate. We're gonna do half a cup of milk and half a cup of heavy cream. Bring to a simmer while mixing constantly. Finally, to enhance the flavor, we'll add a tablespoon of instant coffee. The mug is kind of dirty, don't ask me why. But look how thick it is. It would be ideal to top it off with some whipped cream, but I don't feel like beating it on the couch right now, so let's give it a taste and rate it 1 through 10. Incredibly rich, smooth, and satisfying. The chocolate and the dairy works really well with the spices added into it. I think Mexican chocolate is gonna be a staple in my diet from now. 9 out of 10. You can use this ratio for any chocolate you have too. This is a no-bake dessert, which is my favorite type of dessert. My quick and easy nature combined with my NPC brain prevents me from delaying gratification. If I'm craving something sweet, it has to be put together instantly. We'll use a cup of peanut butter. Are you impressed that that's the real thing, not the processed one? And then 1/3 of a cup of maple syrup, 1/4 of a cup of butter, room temp or melted, splash of dessert MSG, and mix everything together till smooth like this. And then 2 cups of almond flour. A lot of nuts in this one. I guess the more the merrier. We'll fold in the almond flour along with some chocolate chips, and that's basically the filling. Put that in a container aligned with parchment paper, smooth it out. Put this in the fridge for like 30 minutes, but I'm just gonna put it in the freezer for 5. While waiting for it to set, we'll quickly melt a cup of chocolate and glaze it over the top. Make sure you spread it evenly across the whole surface. Gluten-free, no bake, and vegan. I kind of feel like an upper middle class American.
Later.
I have pretty high hopes for this one as I'm a big fan of peanut butter. Kinda looks like a part of a giant Reese's cup. Now let's give it a taste and rate it 1 through 10. It's even better. It's not overwhelmingly sweet like Reese's. The chocolate on top has a lot of crunchiness that balance well with the gooey nature of the peanut butter filling. I was a little worried about the almond flour being a little granular, but it's completely smooth. You can't even taste it as the peanut butter is really powerful. Just so you know, this is really dangerous because I'm getting the urge to eat this whole thing right now. I'll give it a 9.3 out of 10. If you're thinking the recipes today are kind of difficult, think no more because this is the easiest one ever. Starting with 4.5 ounces of chocolate and 3/4 of a cup of heavy cream. Bring it over to the stove on medium-low and start mixing and melting. When it's nice and smooth like this, we'll transfer it to a container and put it in the fridge overnight. When it's cold, we'll take out a scoop and shape it into perfect round balls. Maybe I should be using both of my hands, but I don't want to waste another glove. They're a little too soft to work with, so we're gonna put it in the freezer for 15 minutes. They're a lot less sticky when they're cold, and I forbid you guys from commenting how good I am at handling balls. We'll dust cocoa powder and roll them in it to prevent sticking. We'll dust some more to cover up the imperfections, and that's it. I didn't know chocolate truffles are this low effort. Why am I paying so much for them at the store? Usually I put the whole ball into my mouth, but I'll just take a small bite to show you guys the cross section. Don't inhale while taking a bite because you might choke on the cocoa powder. Don't ask me how I found out. It's smooth, rich, and velvety. I'm still impressed by how easy it was. I'll give it a 9 out of 10. You should definitely make this for Christmas. We made Brigadeiro last week for the family recipe video, and it was a disaster. So we're back at it again with an improved version, starting with 15 grams of butter, 30 grams of cocoa powder, and a whole can of condensed milk. We'll put on the stove on medium-low to heat it up and mix thoroughly. I've had this non-stick pan for a week now, but I'm still mind-blown every time I use it. Did you know that nothing sticks when you use non-stick pan? After it's heated through, we'll put it in a container and let it cool for 2 hours. While waiting, we'll trim out some strawberries. I think usually brigadeiros are balls with chocolate sprinkles. Since I forgot to get it, we're gonna just wrap the brigadeiro around the strawberry to make it like a stuffed ball. After cooling it, it should be much more pliable since the cocoa powder has some starch content that will thicken it up. But this is not looking good right now. How do people in those videos work with this so easily? This is way too sticky to work with. I think I'm gonna get a new pair of gloves and put some oil on it. Alright, this feels much better. So we'll take a decent amount, roll it into a ball, flatten it, and try to wrap a strawberry around it. It gets even more difficult when the oil gets on the strawberry, so it's too slippery to be wrapped. I wonder if you're from Brazil and watching this, are you getting triggered right now? But the second ball is starting to stick again, so I'm done. I'm just gonna eat these strawberries. So what do you think of my strawberry stuffed brigadeiro? It's a very romantic dessert. You should make this for your significant others for Valentine's Day. Let's cut it open and check out the cross section. Looks pretty good, so why don't we give it a taste and rate it 1 through 10. I mean, the only other brigadeiro I've ever had looks like this, so I think overall it's pretty great. I drank condensed milk like it's normal milk. Of course I'll finish it. Needless to say, I didn't make it right, so if you're an expert of the cuisine, why don't you send me some videos so I can give it another try. Every great video ends with a good nut. As you guys already know, my favorite nut is the donut, my second favorite nut is coconut, third cashew, and fourth hazelnut. This is half a pound of it. We're gonna throw it in a 350-degree oven and roast it for 20 minutes or so. After they completely cool, we'll put it in the food processor. I think the nuts are whispering to us. Listen. Do you hear the subtle crackling? Why is that? And then a cup of powdered sugar, 5 tablespoons of cocoa powder, 2 tablespoons of oil, a pinch of salt, and as much chocolate as you want. It's been running for a really long time. The machine's overheating. It's a little old, and this is as fine as it can get. It looks a little granular, but I don't think you'll be able to taste it. At any point of the blending process, if your machine starts giving you a hard time, just put in more oil to thin it out. So once again, we've made homemade Nutella, or as you guys would call it, prehistoric cheese pull. Last but not least, let's give it a taste and rate it 1 through 10. Super easy, foolproof, great texture and flavor. I think we should be able to keep it for 3 weeks or so. I really enjoyed making these chocolate recipes. I hope you try some of these out. It's a great way to increase your dopamine levels. If you're already hopped up on sugar, you can watch my older videos to produce some serotonin. Alright, thank you.
This is how bakers take advantage of stale bread, and you end up paying dearly for it.
This is how I take advantage of my moldy Wonder Bread, and I ended up paying dearly for it, not in a monetary way.
I will also add a can of condensed milk. 3 eggs.
3 eggs.
2 cups of milk.
2 cups of milk.
Don't worry.
Starting to worry.
We will blend little by little.
Immersion blend little by little.
I will heat it on the stove until it forms a caramel.
In a separate pan, we'll heat sugar until it becomes caramel.
Here I add the mixture from the blender. And add water to cook in a bain-marie.
We'll pour boiling water to make a hot water bath and cook in the oven at 350 for an hour.
Once ready, test with a sausage stick.
I don't trust no sausage stick, so I'm just gonna commit to
We'll pour
from
the blender.
Here I add the mixture from the blender.
And add water to cook in a bain-marie.
We'll pour boiling water to make a hot water bath and cook in the oven at 350 for an hour.
Once ready, test with a sausage stick.
I don't trust no sausage stick, so I'm just gonna commit to the flipping. You know, for a second there, I almost forgot this had mold in it. So let's cut out a piece, grab it with my Ligma fork, give it a taste, and rate it 1 through 10. Remember how the couple times we attempted to make flan on this channel all failed miserably? I think we might have accidentally just succeeded. This is the best flan I've ever made. Too bad it had mold in it. I didn't think that this recipe is gonna turn out well, so I used questionable ingredients. This teaches us to always believe in ourselves. If you're motivated by this video, let me know in the comments. Alright, thank you. As an experienced NPC, I realized that life is full of surprises.
This is how bakers take advantage of stale bread and you end up paying dearly for it.
This is how I take advantage of my moldy.
Add a can of condensed milk.
I will also add a can of condensed milk.
3 eggs.
3 eggs.
2 cups of milk.
2 cups of milk.
Don't worry.
Starting to worry.
We will blend little by little.
Immersion blend little by little.
I will heat it on the stove until it forms a caramel.
In a separate pan, we'll heat sugar until it becomes caramel.
Here I add the mixture from the blender.
Here I add the mixture from the blender.
And add water to cook in a bain-marie.
We'll pour boiling water to make a hot water bath and cook in the oven at 350 for an hour.
Once ready, test with a sausage stick.
I don't trust no sausage stick, so I'm just gonna blend little by little. Start with milk.
3.
Not in a monetary way.
I will also add a can of condensed milk.
I will also add a can of condensed milk.
3 eggs.
3 eggs.
2 cups of milk.
2 cups of milk.
Don't worry.
Starting to worry.
We will blend little by little.
Remember how we tried to make mozzarella and failed miserably? Well, it made me appreciate the craftsmanship of the cheese more. So today we're gonna test out some of the most viral fresh mozzarella recipes on the internet. Starting with this lady's Italian sandwich with 30 million views.
Why do we remove the guts? Just so we can fit more inside. Perfect.
So it's basically a caprese sandwich with pesto and prosciutto inside. And I know you guys been accusing me of purposely picking the worst ingredients. I literally just bought these tomatoes today.
What the?
Come on guys, it's not my fault this time. So to start, we'll take a piece of bread with a fairly hard crust. Slice it in half so we can start digging all the guts out. We're gonna save it, bake it at a low temperature in the oven, blend it up and turn it into breadcrumbs. Who am I kidding? I'm only saying that so you guys don't roast me for wasting food in the comments. I'm just gonna throw it away. So with the bread as gutless as me, we can start stuffing it. First, we'll do a layer of mozzarella, then remove any moldy part on the tomato. Give it a sniff. We'll layer the slices in and top it off with some olive oil. The recipe also calls for some fresh grated garlic. That's what I'm doing here. A layer of prosciutto. Why is it all cut up like that? A final layer of cheese, more olive oil, into the oven at 375 for maybe 8 to 10 minutes, whenever you feel like it's done. And we're gonna bake the lid as well. We're gonna spread some olive oil on the surface, again with the fresh grated garlic. Put it right next to the sandwich, but you're gonna take the lid out before the sandwich though. After 10 minutes, this is what it looks like, all crispy and stuff. The final step is to top it off with a big scoop of pesto. Again, I take the lid 10 minutes piece, more some olive oil. The recipe also calls for some fresh grated garlic. That's what I'm doing here. A layer of prosciutto. Why is it all cut up like that? A final layer of cheese, more olive oil, into the oven at 375 for maybe 8 to 10 minutes, whenever you feel like it's done. And we're gonna bake the lid as well. We're gonna spread some olive oil on the surface, again with the fresh grated garlic. Put it right next to the sandwich, but you're gonna take the lid out before the sandwich though. After 10 minutes, this is what it looks like, all crispy and stuff. The final step is to top it off with a big scoop of pesto. Again, I just bought this today. I don't know why it's brown like that, but check out this crunchiness. Kinda looks like an ancient monument. My love language is cutting diagonally when making a sandwich. It makes it taste so much better. Let's take a look at the cross section. I feel like after removing the guts, everything is much more in place. Nothing's falling out like that, which is my biggest problem with sandwiches. And also, is this the first cheese pull on this channel?
Nice job, team.
Finally, let's give it a taste and rate it 1 to 10. If a dish is consisting of 20% or less meat, it's pretty much vegetarian, and if the animal product is not butter, it's pretty much vegan. So this is the best vegan sandwich I've ever had.
Tis the definition of sound logic.
I feel like the beauty of Italian cuisine is that all of those components taste good on their own, so you can match them up however you want. I'll give this an 8.6 out of 10, perfect for lunch. This recipe is super viral and extremely easy. I'll play the video for you real quick. Unfortunately, I had to go to Target and get this. Everybody thought this would be useful for their college dorm, but what they actually need is just some liquor. I am pleasantly surprised that this is only 11 bucks. I love when cooking equipment is cheaper than recipe books. So let's start with the simplest waffle batter recipe, consisting of 1 egg, a cup of milk that I got for myself, a tablespoon of sugar, half a teaspoon of salt, quarter cup of oil, splash of vanilla. Now to the wet ingredients, we'll add the white ingredients, which is just a cup of flour and a key bump of baking powder. As we learned from the pancake video by Tasty, fluffiness comes from an undermixed batter. So we'll let it completely hydrate by resting it for 15 minutes in the bowl. So I learned that string cheese is just low moisture mozzarella. I wonder how they make it low moisture though. Do they dry age or something? We'll stick it all the way in and start dipping them into the batter. I also plugged in the waffle maker in advance because it needs 10 to 15 minutes of heating time. You gotta organize your counter space before dipping. Give the inside a spray of oil, you can start cooking them. It kinda looks like a really tiny corn dog. In about 3 to 5 minutes, the waffle should be done, and the cheese should be a little bit caramelized too. This is my first time using one of these waffle machines. I didn't know they're non-stick like that. Let's make one with double the batter. It's gonna look a lot more satisfying. And finally, let's make a real waffle. I don't know how those chocolate chips got there. Once the waffles are done, we'll put the machine away. And as a rule of the universe, after you use this machine once, it will disappear forever from the face of the earth until you have to move. And then you're gonna have the debate of whether to keep it or not. Look how cute this little waffle lollipop is. I think it looks pretty close to the original too. So let's pull it apart and admire the cheese pull. I think it's gotten cold. Maybe this bigger piece will be better. I think we have a little bit of pull going on here. Let's give it a taste and rate it 1 through 10. It doesn't taste as good as it looks, so I'm gonna smother it in maple syrup, as waffles are created with those little gaps to catch the syrup. But after all, I think we all learned a lesson today, that a waffle with chocolate chips tastes better than a waffle with cheese, in case you didn't know that already. Speaking of stating the obvious, did you know that you can be better helped by using BetterHelp? Who's our sponsor of the video? As you guys already know, the account Future Canoe is completely separate from my personal life. While in many aspects, I'm appreciative of my online anonymity, but sometimes it becomes a source of stress that I don't want to talk to anybody around me about. It'd be pretty wise to seek a touchable way to write out most of you. Asking therapy rice balls, so leftover white rice. It might help you. Now let's play with some rice. You ever wonder what to do with this leftover white rice? Worry no more, because we're gonna make some pan-seared mozzarella rice balls. So we'll dip our hands in some water to prevent sticking, and just enclose pieces of mozzarella with the rice. As you can see here, I'm having a lot of trouble because there's too much moisture in the cheese. The rice is sticking more to my hands than to each other, so we're gonna have to change strategy. When in doubt, I can always rely on my never-ending raclette. We're gonna cut into small pieces and wrap it up like before. These rice balls are like a popular school lunch that Japanese moms make for their children. It's kind of like a struggle meal, but at least it's better than the PB&J I've been eating. So we'll shape it into a little circle like this and move on to the stove. We'll sear both sides. You don't have to worry about the color too much, because we're gonna brush on the chashu braising liquid from the ramen video. I filmed this recipe a little earlier, so it's not that old. Flip them and do the same thing to the other side. Once both of them look good and heated through, we'll take them out. Finally, we'll garnish it with some scallion and this seaweed sesame thing. And what I'm about to demonstrate to you is an accurate depiction of my life, specifically how it's falling apart. Enjoy. If I give a second chance to Kewpie Mayo, I can give a second chance to this rice ball. Why isn't it sticking? Can somebody explain in the comments? So I don't think we can judge it as a rice ball anymore, but as a fried rice, this actually has a lot of flavor, crispy texture, and the cheese adds richness to it. So I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. I'm pretty excited for this recipe, hoping that it will get rid of these cheese and my rice paper. It's kind of like a simplified version of spicy Korean rice cake with homemade cheese stuffed rice cake. So we'll first cut the cheese into little strips, dip a piece of rice paper in water, and then we'll just wrap it up like a really small burrito. Fold it in twice, tug in the sides, and then roll all the way down. It's okay if it's not completely tight, it catches sauce better anyways. Let's also do some double portions with 2 pieces of cheese. As you can tell, I'm using a combination of store-bought nice mozzarella and my homemade rock-hard mozzarella. Let's prepare the sauce. If you're lazy, you can just use gochujang, but I'm gonna do a tablespoon of gochujang and the chashu braising liquid, which is, you know, soy sauce, sugar, vinegar, and everything. And let me emphasize again, it's not that old. Don't come at me in the comments. And finally, I'll do a spoonful of chili crisp. You should use gochugaru though. Mix everything till smooth. Honestly, you don't really need to. We're pouring into water anyways. So we'll very quickly sear the outside of the rice cake. You might notice that they're all sticking together, but no need to panic. Once they get into contact with some water, the rice paper will naturally separate. Once it comes to a simmer, pour in the sauce, reduce it for 3 to 5 minutes till it's thick. Again, we'll finish with scallion and this seaweed sesame thing. So here we have spicy rice cake with hidden cheese. This one the paper broke, but check out how soft and gooey it is. Does this count as a cheese pull? Or just a gravitational pull? In hindsight, I think using a plate that's in the color of institutional gray really kills your appetite. Visually, a rice cake is supposed to be red and comforting, but somehow this looks like factory food. It is so packed with flavor, this rice cake is having a hard time containing itself. Look, it's starting to drip. Dripping in flavor. The texture is a lot softer than normal rice cakes, which I prefer. It's very cheesy and gooey like that. The mozzarella that I made is still hard as a rock, so it's a good contrast. This is super simple, and I think it tastes better than normal tteokbokki with cheese on top. Overall, the texture, flavor, and aroma all hit the spot. I'll give it a 9 out of 10. It's dripping a lot, but so am I. Normal garlic bread is just like the person we're eventually gonna marry. It's only good on the outside, the inside's kind of boring. So here we have Pillsbury Creepy Doughboys biscuit tube. I love this packaging. It's like popping champagne for celebrating failures. Yay, I still suck. This is the mozzarella I made myself. Kinda looks like a brain, but feels like a rock. We're gonna cut into small pieces and wrap in between the biscuit dough like this. Seal in the edges, and when you're done, just roll it into a ball shape. Repeat that to the rest of the dough, and eventually you're gonna get a little container of balls like this. And it's not garlic bread without some butter that's infused with freshly grated garlic. Mix everything together and brush it onto the dough. And then into the oven at 375 for 12 minutes. If the dough's stretchy like this, that means it's still not done. I don't know who, but a certain stupid person got excited because he thought it was a cheese pull. But we'll put it back for 8 more minutes. 8 minutes later, it looks like it's definitely done. Let's break it open and check out the inside. Besides the cheese just not passing the vibe check at all, it looks pretty good. Let's give it a taste and rate 1 through 10. As opposed to a traditional garlic knot, the texture is more on the crunchy and crumbly side. I'm gonna dip in the rice cake sauce, and I'll apologize in advance for showing a little bit of emotion. There's no way it doesn't taste good like this. A garlic bread biscuit with cheese dipped in spicy rice cake sauce. I think we just made history. That's right, slam that kitchen counter. It's very easy to put together, and you know, a new way to enjoy the same old stuff in the fridge. I'll give it an 8.3 out of 10. A lot of great recipes today. I don't think we had any major failures. The rice balls fell apart, but it still tasted good. With a simple ingredient like mozzarella, it'll get boring if you're stuck with one method of preparation. Sometimes you just need some new techniques and method to appreciate its beauty more. Same thing goes for mental health. Getting introduced to a new perspective might just lighten your spirit up significantly. I know this video is sponsored by BetterHelp, but I genuinely hope all of you can find your own unique way to mental clarity. It warms my heart when I hear that a lot of you watches my videos before going to sleep, and my voice is able to put you at ease. Wherever you are in life, I just want you to know that I'm not going anywhere. Our community always welcomes you and has a place for you. Alright, thank you.
Okay, I think I'm at the end of my energy limit. I'm too tired. Not sure if I'm coming on tomorrow, but I think I'll come on Sunday. Yeah, have a great night, people. Good night.